Hey guys, welcome back on the channel. As you probably are aware, official Trump meme coin is out of this world. Market cap over 9 billion. Total trading volume for the past day over 31 billion. And this is where the money is, guys. And I'm gonna show you how to earn money with this token. Maybe you bought some here at the top and now you see it going down. For the past day, it's even down 33%. But this is what I want you to focus on, guys. Volume. Volume is a key factor when becoming a crypto market maker, and I'm gonna show you how to make money with your official Trump tokens even if you don't plan on selling. So this is a really great opportunity to start generating some passive income. So I'm gonna cover everything you need to know about it, okay? So first things first, this is launching on Solana. So this is the blockchain you need to be on. So for that reason, you'll need to install the Phantom wallet. Now, before getting into much detail into it, it's a fairly simple thing to install. You just download, add the extension to your Chrome browser, you provide an email, you start a wallet, simple as that. The thing is, I saw people complaining that during peak market, when everything was going crazy in Solana crashed. I don't know if it's the case or not, I wasn't online, but if that's the case, you can always buy it in other markets. For example, if you click the markets tab here, we are on CoinGecko, but you can have this information also on CoinMarketCap. This will give you a list with 34 pages made up from markets. These are all the places you can go on to buy the Trump token. There's going to be a lot of centralized exchanges. That's what SEX stands for. There's going to be also not as many, but plenty of decentralized exchanges. That's what DEX stands for. I'm going to show you how to use the decentralized ones because that's going to take the full advantage of blockchain technology. Everything is transparent, everything is recorded publicly on the blockchain, while on the centralized exchanges that's not going to be the case. But if Solana's network is crashing, it's lagging, there's a lot of activity on chain, like many people complain they couldn't buy or sell a token at a specific point in time, you can always go to centralized exchanges, okay? That's going to be a good alternative. You buy the tokens there and then you can send it to your Web3 wallet, for example. There's plenty of these you can use. If you want to follow my referral link for starting an account, I will have something for on the Max C, which doesn't require KYC. It's not going to be available everywhere in the world, so you'll have to check that yourself, but it's a pretty reliable centralized exchange. You can see it here. They have the Trump USDC liquidity pool. So if you want to buy some Trump tokens there, you'll have to use for example, USDC, but it's a centralized exchange. You can buy it with pretty much anything. Now let's move on so I can show you how you can start generating passive income with the Trump meme coin on a decentralized exchange. So let's go here on Gecko Terminal just to show you how many liquidity pools there are and also so that you can understand which one is the best. I'm pretty sure that there will be several very profitable liquidity pools. You just need to pick one. So right now you can see here we are on Solana, the chain here on the left side, and this is a specific liquidity pool on Orca. So you can see up here Solana, the blockchain, and Orca, the decentralized exchange. If you click on Solana, it will show us everything that is happening right now on the decentralized exchanges that are deployed on Solana, and we can sort things out here, for example, by volume. It's going to give us, for example, look at this. Solana USDC, the volume for the past day has been close to $4 billion. This is just insane. And pretty much, I believe, it's coming from all of this Trump meme coin craze. People are buying and selling Solana like crazy just because of that, I believe. So ranking right now, number 2, the new meme coin for Melania, Trump's wife. And then we have Trump USDC. This is also having really good results, but I would say go with Trump Sol because Solana is a blue chip asset and it's the native token of Solana, so you'll need to use Solana to pay for gas fees. So I would say any of these would be a great choice, of course, although this is performing much better. Trump paired with USDC, it's over 2 billion. So there's an insane amount of fees being generated, and those are generated just when people buy and sell the token. That's why volume is so important. Here, I mean, it's still $500 million difference. But in any case, now let's go here with the Trump paired with USDC liquidity pool. The liquidity here is just downright insane. and $21 million in liquidity. So this is a super solid liquidity pool. The volume for the past 24 hours, 2 billion like we saw. The price went down 28%, but when looking at liquidity pools, what you need to understand is that volume is what drives how profitable they are. And this one, I'm not sure about the fee tier. We'll have to check it elsewhere because in here it's not showing us. Sometimes it doesn't show that information. So knowing this, let's go on Meteora and let's try to see some more information about the pool. But briefly put, what we're going to do is that you see these blue lines here on screen. I just sorted them out just to give you an idea of what is providing liquidity on considered liquidity pools and what are ranges. So when you set a range, a given range, you will be saying, for example, okay, I have a bag of Trump tokens, I will deposit it on this pool and I want to put them to work. So I need to set a down price range and an up price range, okay? So upper price means that at this point in time, let's say if this one is at 71.20, so if the price goes back up to this and above, now you'll be holding 100% of USDC. The down price is $45.65, so if it goes below $45.65, you'll be holding 100% Trump. And likely you will be seeing impermanent loss potentially to kick in because now the token is losing value and you are holding 100% of it. The same way that if price goes up, you will see that you will have, let's call it an impermanent gain because your deposit now has been sold, everything for USDC because the token price went up. So not only you are on profit already, so to say, although you only get in profit if you decide to remove your liquidity, but in the meanwhile, while the price is in the range, that's what we want, to be in range as long as possible because that will generate fees, and fees will be paid in both assets of the pair. You see, whenever people trade this specific pair, Trump with USDC, but it goes for any other pair out there, they will pay fees, and those fees will pay out to liquidity providers. Now, this is a liquidity pool which has a lot of competition. This amount of liquidity is all of the people who deposit into the pool put together, and this volume generates a specific amount of fees that will go to pay out to all the people in the pool. So the volume here is just mind-blowing. So this will be an extremely profitable liquidity pool to provide liquidity on. You probably can get, I haven't tested this out yet for a whole day, but in other liquidity pools that I've been providing liquidity on with much lower volume, I got results with some meme coins of 10% a day at least, just with fees. Of course, it's very risky. The price can dump at any time. Does require somewhat of a more close management, but with Trump being behind the whole thing, I don't think he's going to rug anyone. Also, only 20% of the supply is allocated to the public, so only 20% of it can be bought and sold on the markets. 80% is still in possession of the team, Trump administration, or whoever is behind the launching of this meme coin. But I don't think this is going to be any sort of a scam like we saw some of the other silly celebrities like the Octua girl and some other Kylie Jenner and some of those crazy memes that end up rugging. Because Trump is a mainstream figure, he's a politician, he wouldn't put his image on the line for a rug, okay? At least that's what I believe. And with the whole vesting thing for the next 3 years, that's why I think this can be a really, really profitable play. And in the meanwhile, if you are already holding the tokens, maybe you bought at an all-time high and you are worrying because you see now it's worth almost half of what it was when you bought, you can put your tokens to work and earn some passive income in it, okay? Of course, it's always better if the price goes back up, but anyways, this is how virtually everything works. Now, you don't want to be too greedy. You don't want to put too much of a tight range, because if that's the case, let me just put it here so you can visually understand. If that's the case, imagine your range, it's like a net. If your net is put on too tight, you'll miss out everything above your upside and below your downside. If your net is a bit wider, you see all of this volume then becomes something that will provide you passive income. Those fees are going to be paid out to you. So don't get greedy. This has a lot of volume. you can set up a decent amount of price range. I would say if you are completely new to the game, I would say set up something here at an all-time high and put it below this floor that we see right here, about $40. $40 would probably be a good point for you to put your down range. But you can just meet here these lower candles and have something like $45 as the bottom range. Okay, so now that you already have an idea of how you can set up ranges, let's move on to the DEXs, the decentralized exchanges, so you can see how to do it yourself. That's the beauty of crypto. It's made by the people, for the people. This is the future of finance, I believe. And if you want to know more about this and get more acquainted with all of this terminology I'm spitting out on this video, maybe this is the first time you're watching, subscribe to the channel. I got plenty of information about it already, and there will be plenty more soon to come. Of course, this is still a very new and recent pair, so we don't have much data, but right now we gotta play with what we have, and this seems to be a floor right now, and that's why I was mentioning this specific price to be as the downside, the bottom of your range. Okay, of course you'll have to see how it goes in the future. If it drops below, no worries, you can always readjust the range to be a bit lower. There's also ways that you can do in order to avoid locking in permanent loss. That's the biggest issue when providing liquidity. Permanent loss can be something very tricky to handle, especially for beginners, but it's actually quite simple to handle it if you are dealing with a solid asset, a legit asset that you don't think it's gonna rug. You're not worrying about holding it long term. You have enough conviction to hold it, even if it goes out of range on the downside, right? So for example, now we can come here onto trade. It's going to give us several options actually, not only on Meteora but also Jupiter. So you can go on either. You can also go on Radium. But this specific pool is on Meteora. This is the one that is performing with this insane amount of volume. So let's go on with that. So we can click on here, trade, then Meteora. It will link us directly to the decentralized exchange. Now you need to connect your wallet. Mine is already connected, and you need to find a liquidity pool. So again, you see here, there's the 24-hour volume, the 24-hour fee to TVL ratio. This is also a good pointer to give you an understanding of how profitable the pool is. And we just did that right now. This one is actually first on the line, but in any case, all of these are performing over 1,000%, which is insane. If you manage to get all of this volume, I mean, this is gonna print, let me tell you. But anyways, this is the pair that we were looking at, Trump USDC. There's 52 pools, so we click on it. There's going to be different options, different fee tiers. The higher the fee tier, the better for the liquidity providers. They will get paid the most, but also the worst for the traders, because traders want to pay the least amount of fees. Liquidity providers want to earn the most amount of fees. So even though that the first one has the lowest fee tier, it has the best performing here on the 24-hour fee to TVL ratio. But in this case, I mean, none of these are really interesting because you see the TVL, it's virtually zero. 6 cents, $10, $3. So we got to go here on show all. Let us sort this out by TVL instead. Okay, sorted out by TVL, so we got a better idea of what's happening here. So this is the liquidity pool we were looking at. You see the TVL is 720 million. So if you go back here on Gecko Terminal, you see just that, 722 million. So that's the same liquidity pool. I wouldn't get too much caught up on this 24-hour fee to TVL ratio because this is just for the past day. And as volatile as the market is, it's likely going to shift really fast. So I wouldn't get discouraged because this is only showing up 2% while there's others with 30% or 20%. Although there are still really good options. I mean, this one has a TVL of over $1.5 million and this one is well above $500,000. But in any case, let's proceed with the first one. So in here, now you'll have to set up your range to add liquidity, right? So you click on add position. There's going to be different strategies here by default. Spot, this is sort of a very general way, but it will work in any type of markets. Curve, this will be best for stable pairs, which goes for stable coins. For example, a pair that has USDC and some other stable coin pegged to the dollar, and also bid ask. So this is going to be more directed to market conditions, such as we are seeing with the Trump meme coin with tremendous volatility. You can see even here that they have a small explaining of how every different strategy works. So you can understand better, a little bit better, and read for yourself, right? In any case, you can always come here and insert manually how much the minimum price is, how much your downside on your range is, and also the upside. So we could set up something like 70 on the upside and on the downside like 45. So if you set up a price distribution 50-50, so let me go and show you that. So for example, the price right now is here, the dot red line. So let's imagine we put something like 50-50, 50% on the upside and 50% on the downside. In that case, you need to deposit here on Meteora. Let's say if you go with $1,000, $500 worth of Trump and 500 USDC. If you're choosing a different range, like the one I said, like let's say something around 45. Let's imagine this is at an even 45 and the upside at 70. So let's go with an even 75, something like this. So in this case, you'll be depositing very close to 100%, anything in between 90, 95, something like that, worth of Trump, and the remaining worth of USDC. Okay, so this is just briefly to give you an idea of how the set range influences the number of tokens on the pair that you are going to deposit. And once you decide that for yourself, so let's say we had 75 here and 45 on the minimum. So yeah, this would be a really good to go. Then we'd click on add liquidity. So if you're wondering about what numbins is, imagine your price range has different amounts of bins, and those bins will take a small chunk of your liquidity. Your liquidity will be distributed according to the bins. So with bid ask, you see the bins are bigger on the extremities and smaller in the middle around the current price. That's because you are expecting more volatility, and that's why this strategy is more tailored for extreme market conditions such as we are seeing now. Curve has bigger bins around the current price because stable pairs will have more stability. They won't fluctuate all that much, so most of the liquidity will be better used around the current price. And then we have spot, which has virtually the same distribution around your price range, the same bins around your price range, only at the very extremities they will have smaller bins. Okay, so the bulk of your liquidity will be more on the center, not as much as with curve. So this is sort of like your off-road vehicle. It can handle any sort of terrain, okay? While the others are more designed to specific conditions. So you could go either with spot or bid ask for this specific pair, not curve. Curve would not be a good one, especially if you're a beginner, stay away from that, and go with either spot or bid ask, okay? So one other thing I want you to know that I didn't mention yet is that your range determines also how much you're gonna earn. So if you go with tighter ranges, you will earn more fees. Your APRs will be higher. But this has such amount of volume. This is so insane right now that I would say don't get greedy. Go with wider ranges, not only because of that, but also because we want to get all of this volume, okay? So if we go with tighter ranges, for example, like this, it would be really great. We would generating fees for how long the price is within our set range, but we would have been missing out on all of this volume, okay? And this is still a fairly short pair. It has not been trading for all that long, so we don't really know where the floor is. Like now we're seeing, let's go here with the 15 minutes chart. Like now it's dipping a little bit again. It seems to be at $39. But anyways, guys, this is the sort of thing you can do with crypto, okay? Set up your passive income machine. Trump is just the newest and latest meme coin in the game. It's going to generate a lot of money just in fees, but you can apply this to anything else. In my channel, I really advocate for, if you are interested in this, to do it with blue chip assets. Do it with Bitcoin, do it with Solana, do it with Ethereum. And I have plenty of information here on the channel to show you how you can work with that, okay? So for example, right now, worst case scenario, you are opening a position, the price drops below your range. Let's actually move this up. So theoretically, let's say price is out of range. What's happening now? Now you're holding 100% of your initial investment in Trump tokens, and likely you will be looking at a red screen because not only you are holding 100% of the Trump meme, but also that is losing value. And it is at a lower value than when you bought in. back up here at this price range. So that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it stays within range, it generates passive income. If it goes out of your range on the upside, now you're holding 100% USDC because all of your Trump tokens have been automatically traded for USDC, which can be a good thing, but also you can miss out on something like, let's say if it goes back to this all-time high, you're not going to take advantage of that fully because your position completely has been sold out for USDC. So if you want to take advantage of a potential retesting of this all-time high or a new all-time high even, you want to have these up ranges to be really high up here. If not meeting the all-time high, even higher. It's mostly depending on what are you thinking about, where is it going to go. So that's again why I said don't be greedy, don't set too tight of ranges. The wider it is, the less time it will demand on your side. You can check it every other day, but right now with this one, I mean, it's super crazy, super volatile. Probably want to check it every day, a couple times a day, something like that. So guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. Also, I will pin useful information for you. For example, the Underdog investor group, which is a community dedicated to yield farming. You can take part of it if you use my link. It will get you 20% off on your first month. They deal with everything related to yield farming. They get you one-on-one coaching also. There's free resources. But if you want to set up your passive income machine with crypto, with DeFi, which is made by the people, for the people, it's fully transparent, I would say that's a good place to start learning and understanding how can you safely invest in crypto, okay? Again, guys, if you have questions, also hit me up in the comments. I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching. Take care. Let's see where Trump meme will go. I'll be bringing you updates on it. Really excited to see how everything will play out. So thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.